Please ensure you read and understand the following disclaimer before watching the video. Hey guys, this is a quick demonstration on how to pressure test a heat pump system only. If you haven't seen the full video, go and check that out on my channel now. I'll try and pop it up in this video. So for the first test, we're going to be doing high pressure. So we'll attach the red hose to the port here. Want to make sure these valves are shut, don't over tighten them. And then this yellow hose here attached to the regulator. So the setup will look a little like this. Another thing you can use is some bubble solution and just spray it around the joints here and the joints inside if you're concerned or there is a leak somewhere, just to identify exactly where it is easily. Wherever you set your manifold up and hang it from, make sure it is stable so it's not going to fall off and break. So initially when firing these up, obviously don't point them at people. And the other thing is, the first test we're going to do is we're going to set it to 100 psi. If any fittings are forgotten, you'll know because it will leak straight away, and we're not bumping it all the way up to 450 psi to start off with. So we'll open the valve here, and if you need to adjust the output, this lever here does that, but I've already got it set on 100 psi right there. So we'll open the valve of the red end, and see it's not quite 100 psi on here, so I'll just crank this up slightly. And that's on 100. Shut the valve. Nothing's blown apart. It's not dropping in pressure. So we can safely bump this up to 450 psi is the next test. Obviously check what's recommended where you are or with the type of heat pump you're installing. Some of them may be up to 500 psi, but you likely don't want to exceed that. So I tend to test at 450 psi. Alright, so now I'm going to increase the pressure on here. So I'll open this valve a wee bit and ramp this one up. And you can see we're increasing . So we're steady there on 400 psi. So I'll still crank it up to around 450. I can go up to 500, but not exceed 500 at all. That's absolute max. But today I'll be going just above 450, so about 460 psi. And we are there, so we'll shut this one off. So what I'll also do here, shut this line off and close the valve. And then I'm going to depressurize all of this line side, but the load side down the red tube is still going to stay at, well, it's around 460 psi or psig on here. So to do this, I'm going to use the blue side just to slowly release it. We've got this shut off nice and tight, so we're not going to lose any pressure. And then we'll slowly open this side. And we don't want to blow the thing up, so, and we'll slowly release this one. And that's just nitrogen being released, so we're good there. Now we've got our mark, we know exactly where it is. Obviously put some tape on it, check it, and leave it here for about 10 minutes to make sure it's going to stay at, well, say 460-ish psi on here. So we'll make sure that the needle is not dropping. Now if it does drop, you're going to have to likely check, use bubble solution, check your joints, and potentially redo some of them that are affected if you find, when you find what's affected. So we've shut it off, and we're just going to check it again in 10 minutes time. Sometimes I take a photo and just compare that photo a bit later on. If you do use bubble solution during pressure testing on the fittings, make sure you clean it up properly afterwards. So it's been around 10 minutes and the gauge hasn't moved in the slightest. So I'm happy it's passed the pressure test. So what I'll do now is release this valve just slightly, and then this one just a little bit. And let that nitrogen drain out of the line. Now you make sure that your nitrogen bottle is obviously closed. Because I had closed it and drained all of the pressure out earlier, I'm happy to take all of this off. Make sure all your gauges are on 0. Make sure this is closed. Open this up. Open these up. Just make sure there's no pressure left in the line, and then you can go ahead, close that valve, disconnect the appliance line. Now I'll disconnect the red line from here, and I'll be attaching the blue line to vac it down shortly. So before moving the reg, make sure it's zeroed out, and then you'll be safe to remove it. Obviously if there's pressure in it, it may cause harm or injury to someone. Alright guys, cheers for watching. Make sure you watch part 2, how to evacuate a heat pump system, or check out the full video. Cheers.